stole the big rig from a gas station near Chapel Hill earlier this morning. A DPS trooper spotted it on Highway 36 and tried to pull him over when they say that's when he took off, put his foot on the gas. After a brief chase, investigators say Parker took a hard right turn near 290 and crashed into the office, killing one person and injuring 13 others. Police say Parker crashed into the building on purpose because he was told just yesterday that he could not renew his CDL license. I'm joined now by Fox 26 reporter Randy Wallace, who's live outside of the DPS office in Brenham. And Randy, you spoke to a relative of Parker.
Yeah, that's right, Anthony. Now, it's going to be quite some time before the DPS office here in Brenham opens again. 42-year-old Clenard Parker's cousin tells us that mental illness pushed Parker over the edge.
The suspect was backing the vehicle up and with the intent of going into it again.
The person, troopers say, intentionally crashed into the waiting area of the Brenham DPS office is this man, 42-year-old Clenard Parker.
Stolen 18-wheeler, took a hard right turn, and went into the DPS Brenham office.
He had his license at one time before, and he went to go get his, try to get a CDL again, and for whatever reason, that just took him over the top.
James Edmond is Parker's cousin.
I think the lady had passed, and our heart goes out to that family and everybody that's involved, but you know, my cousin, he suffered from bad mental illness, and he just snapped.
Edmond says his cousin lived alone in this trailer in Chapel Hill.
He's never been a violent person. You check his record.
Parker's criminal history contains mostly misdemeanor criminal trespass. Back in 2002, he pled guilty to a felony prohibited weapon charge and got probation. Now he's facing a laundry list of serious charges.
We will prosecute this person to the full extent of the law, because this will not be tolerated. Not in my hometown, and not in our home state.
This is surprising to you.
Very surprising. And it's very hurtful too, you know. And I just wish he could have talked to somebody and somebody could have just, you know, took him off that edge and you know, get him back level. And, you know, so, you know, I just hate that. It just hurt my heart for him and the people that's involved in the lady that lost her life. But, you know, like I say, he have a situation that's a mental situation.
Now, Parker is currently charged with unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and evading arrest with intent to cause bodily injury. Right now, tonight, he's in the Washington County Jail with no bond set. Reporting live from Brenham, Randy Wallace.
Clenard. Brother, what was you thinking? You think because they didn't renew your license that driving an 18-wheeler into the DPS office will get you your license, brother? You're terribly mistaken. Now, one person was killed and 13 others were injured Friday when a stolen semi careened into a DPS office in Brenham, Texas. The truck was being pursued by multiple law enforcement vehicles when it crashed into the DPS office. Sergeant Justin Reese said at a news conference the driver had been denied a commercial driver's license at that location. The suspect was identified as Clenard Parker, 42 years old. While he was there Thursday, the driver's license staff advised Parker that he was not eligible to renew his commercial license. The person who died has not been identified publicly. 5 others were hospitalized, officials said. 8 people were treated at the scene and released. Now, Brenham Mayor Atwood Kinjora said the driver tried to back up and crashed into the building again, but was stopped by first responders, preventing further tragedy. There would have been a collapse of that building, the mayor said at the news conference, if he would have hit that building again. Now, several officers took the suspect into custody. Reese said he was being held at the Washington County Jail. A Washington County Sheriff's Office deputy and possibly other law enforcement officers came across the tractor trailer near a McDonald's, not far from the DPS office. Multiple law enforcement units, including The deputies tried to stop the truck, but the driver led authorities on a pursuit on US 290, headed west and then using its loop east before moving toward the DPS office. The stolen 18-wheeler took a hard right turn into the structure. Now, Montgomery County Judge Mark Koff said the incident was intentional and done by the suspect who was denied a CDL yesterday. He returned today with the intent to harm. Continue prayers for the DPS staff, troopers, and civilians affected. State Senator Louis Colkhurst said the familiar office is part of a common experience for the community. We've taken our children to get their driver's license there, she said at the news conference. I've gotten my driver's license there. It's a place of public service. She continued, and so what we've seen today is an act of violence. 3 of the injured were taken to Baylor Scott and White Medical Center, where they've been stabilized, a hospital spokesperson told the news media. They all suffered minor injuries from debris from the building. Yeah, I don't know what made Clenard snap like that. Was it time for him to renew his license and they denied it? Because I know, I've been driving semis for like 20 years. I know every 2 years, to keep your driver's license active and current, you have to go do a DOT physical and get a medical card issued. And that medical card you have to keep on you at all times. And that's every 2 years. They want to make sure you don't have any illnesses that would cause you to have an accident, maybe high blood pressure or diabetes or something like that. So that's a very serious thing. So maybe that's what caused it. But I'm not really sure. They didn't have any details explaining that. But I can tell you one thing, running that semi-truck into that building was not the answer, brother. You won't be around any trucks anytime soon. Well, you guys take it easy, and I'll talk to you later.